Good Sunday morning and welcome to Inside Tennessee. I'm your moderator, John Becker. My colleague, John North, enjoying a much-needed vacation and well-deserved. This morning, a freewheeling discussion of all things politics. Typically, we focus on the local side. This morning, we focus on the national side with our two veteran guests. Susan Richardson Williams is a Republican. She runs her own PR firm. Don Bosch is a Democrat, runs his own law firm, and we are pleased to have both of them with us. And I was trying to add up the years, but just take my word for it. Both of them have been on this broadcast for going on 20 years plus. And we normally lean on you guys for what's happening in East Tennessee and the state of Tennessee, but we're going to move beyond that for just a fun discussion about what's on your mind politically on the national stage. First, though, I want to talk to our viewers about what you read on any given day that keeps you informed of what's happening on the national stage. Don, let's start with you. What's on your list of go-tos every morning?
Well, aside from the local paper and the local papers and your website, of course, WBIR, nationally, really, I pay attention to NPR, BBC, Bloomberg, Politico, MSNBC, WAPO, Washington Post. I do follow. I got to give a shout out to my guys at Tennessee Holler and at Compass locally. I do pay attention to some of the things on the right too, because I think that's important. I think Susan will tell you the same thing from her perspective with the left. But I think balance on the right. You find National Review and The Hill. I get a good perspective that I don't think is Fox colored. Let's call it that. Or certainly Susan's favorite, Alex Jones. I do pay attention. I read a lot. I know Susan and I talk a lot during the week, and we're like, did you see this article or did you see this? And John, you and I do the same thing. And it's good to bounce those things off and get some perspective. But that's what I look at to start to get a base. I also really like 538.com. And I can't say enough good things about if you're a little bit of a stats geek and a fair one, these guys almost always get it right.
Susan, let's move to you. And one thing I'll mention as I do this is both you and Don spend a lot of time on the phone as well. Every time I call you, you've just spoken with somebody who's tied into something else.
We do that. In my business, you have to do that. You have to stay connected. You have to know what's happening. On the national scene, Politico, as Don said, that's certainly my go-to on the national news of the day. Or actually, it comes out several times a day, and if there's breaking news, they come out with that. So Politico is I think the best just online instant information, and that's generally correct, and I think it's fair and balanced. I look at Fox News, of course. I also look at the Washington Post. I look at the New York Times on occasion. In Tennessee, I would say if people want a good, fair perspective on what's happening in Tennessee politics, the Tennessee Journal. It's online daily, and they also have a print version of it that you can subscribe to. Republicans like to look at the Tennessee Star, which was started initially by Steve Gill, but he's not associated with it. It's Michael Patrick Leahy. Tennessee Lookout is one that Democrats and Republicans will watch. Don mentioned the Tennessee Holler. That's one that is certainly Democrat-oriented, a little bit more liberal. I'll tell you another one that I like that's a good politician that's what I would still call an investigative journalist in Nashville, and that's Phil Williams. He's with News Channel 5 down there. He's the one that had the video on Hillsdale College recently, the ARN that talked about dumbest places and dumbest colleges and that kind of thing. And Phil broke that. He's very good at investigative reporting. And so I'll check in on with him occasionally to see if there's any breaking news he has. WBIR, of course, locally, and Compass. I subscribe to it as well as Don does. So I think we kind of do some of the same things, but I keep Fox News on running because Senator Blackburn and Senator Haggerty on it 4 or 5 times every day. So I hear her voice. So I kind of keep up with what our Tennessee senators are talking about.
One other quick note on that. I want to stick on the media for just a minute. Susan, we'll stay with you and then get Don's thoughts. But you mentioned Senator Blackburn, Senator Haggerty. What about social media? They're both extraordinarily active when it comes to their social media pages. We see that with politicians across the region and across the country. How closely are you watching Twitter, Facebook, social media pages, TikTok for all things politics, Susan?
I do look at that. Twitter particularly, and Facebook is, it's certainly not as breaking news as Twitter is. And I think you have to watch that because that's where you get your immediate updates on something that's happening. I could sit all day and do nothing but look at social media and these online political venues. But I try to do it in the morning and see what's happening. Then before I go to bed at night, I'll look over a quick Facebook and Twitter to see if anything else has happened.
And Don, as I toss it to you, do you think that social media has enhanced the political experience or hurt it?
I think it's hurt it. And I'll tell you why, because my take on social media and the way politicians on both sides, but particularly the Republicans use it, they don't ever talk about what they want to do. They talk about what the other guy is doing that's bad. It's just criticism. Democrats do it too, but I see more Republicans using it in that fashion. And so I think it really becomes destructive. It's like, guys, tell me what you stand for, not how much you dislike what the other person stands for. So I do look at it like Susan, make no mistakes. But I roll my eyes and go, good Lord, for once, come up with something, Marsha Blackburn, Tim Burchett, somebody that just isn't about how much you dislike what the Democrats are doing. Come up with what good are the Republicans doing? What do they believe in? What do they want to do? And so I don't think it's as good as some of the whether you find them objective or not, the news reporting that can go on, even the opinion news reporting that can go on to give people fresh ideas or at least think about perspectives. Like Susan, although I noticed she didn't say MSNBC, that I think it's important to watch some of the other side and get it, because every now and then, and I don't remember if it was Howard Baker it was attributed to or what, every now and then the other guy could be right, could have an idea. So
the other guy might be right. Yeah, that was Howard Baker, title of a book.
That was
Howard
Baker.
We're going to take a quick break. We've laid the discussion. We're going to come back to a little word association with Don and Susan about national headlines right after this.